Hello everyone, and welcome to a very different video for this channel. This is a video talking about Warhammer Vermintide 2, the Chaos Wastes expansion. Yes, the title is long. No, I don't care to shorten it for the sake of the video, deal with it. Recently, and by recently I mean a couple of weeks ago, they added the Grudge Mark enemies to Chaos Wastes. And killing enough of them grants cosmetic rewards! Yay! So this is sort of a, if you haven't heard about Chaos Wastes, here's what it is, and here's a basics of Grudge Marks for those of you who don't play the game or are just getting into Chaos Wastes. So, what is this? Chaos Wastes is a roguelike game mode for Vermintide, where you run a series of short missions in a row, starting with white gear and none of your traits or abilities, and each mission gives an upgrade, and along the way you can gain boons and weapon upgrades, and at the end of a run you get 2 chests instead of 1 for roughly the time of a lot of the mid to longer missions in the base game. So during each mission you go through a map that is selected randomly, and the pathings change between each mission, more or less. And as you progress through the map, one of the pickups you'll find are what are called Pilgrims Coins. And coins can be spent either in-map at shrines to upgrade your weapons, get a random weapon of a higher tier, or gain a random boon, or in shrine locations on the map for boons and buffs. Also in these levels are, quote, chests of trials, which spawn a monster that you have to kill, and will then get a choice of 3 random boons. Now, I've used this a lot so far, so what is a boon? A boon is a buff that your character receives. There are 3 basic kinds. There are traits, which are the sorts of things you'd find on your amulet, ring, or charm in the base game that you can pick up as a boon. So, if you really want your natural health, or your Blessing of Shalia, or your Decanter, you have to find them through either random boons, chests of trials, or buying them at shrines. Very commonly, you'll also see perks from your class that you don't already have. And yes, this means that theoretically you could stack all 3 temp health talents for your class on one character during a run. I've done it before, it's very fun. You just don't die anymore. I mean, also you can get the, multiple versions of the passive modifier or the ult modifier, which are always fun to stack.
You've earned your reward. Don't forget it.
And then there are unique boons, which change the game and how you play in some way, varying from flat bonuses to attack speed to taking damage and your allies would take for them, to barrels that you damage deal more damage. Some of these things are better than the others. Try and find things that, work for your build and avoid things that aren't. And there will 100% be runs where you just don't get any boon that's worthwhile. And there will be runs where you get the most insane boons and just go on killing sprees and delete everything in front of you. That's just how it works. So, Grudge Marks are the other half of this, and the more recent half that has come out as an addition to Chaos Wastes. So, any monster that spawns during a run in the Chaos Wastes can spawn as a Grudge Mark. Grudge Marks are, as a rule, stronger than normal monsters. They will also usually spawn with anywhere from 0 to 3 traits, depending on what difficulty you're on. Recruit has 0 to 1, Veteran 0 to 2, Champion and Legend 0 to 3, and Cataclysm will have 1 to 3 traits. Traits can change pretty dramatically depending on the trait, how the fight works, and how you deal with the enemies. I'm not going to list all of them here. There will be a link to a full post from the Vermintide crew on them in the description. But this is enough of them to give you an idea of how much these can change an entire fight. And the first one we're going to talk about is Shadowstep. The monster has a chance, upon taking damage, to teleport near the attacker. This one is, I think, one of the two that I really love seeing, because it changes up how you have to fight them so much. Because think about it. If you have the handmaiden or sister kiting it with a moonfire bow, every tick of that damage is a chance for the monster who is currently aggroed on, say, the mercenary or the Ironbreaker to just teleport into their face and start hitting them. Which is just, it's so entertaining when that happens. But also, it means you've got to be really ready to switch to defense when you're shooting it from afar. The other really scary one that completely shifts how you have to think about it is Illusionist. The mark periodically summons 3 mirror image of itself. These mirror images, as a note, deal full damage, but only take a couple of hits to kill. So you want to try and not get cornered and kill these illusions quickly, because they will still wreck you, even if they basically only have 1 hit point. As a note, firebombs are really good in this scenario, because you can throw one and it usually will kill 2 or 3 of the illusions. And finally, this one's more annoying than it is actually dangerous. Okay, no, there's 2 that fall under that category. Shield Shattering for basically everyone, and Rampart for also basically everyone. So, what do these do? So, Shield Shattering makes it so that when you take damage from the mark, it completely takes away all of your stamina, and for a short time prevents stamina regen. That doesn't sound bad, until you think about the fact that if you don't have stamina and try blocking, the attack will just completely throw you off. This is incredibly dangerous, because it means you cannot block this monster. Which makes them really hard to fight, because you have to be getting your dodges on time. And the other one, Rampart, just makes them straight up immune to ranged damage. Which means no Moonfire Bow for the dots, no Sienna damage for also the dots and just massive chunks of damage, no Bounty Hunter, no Masterwork Pistol, none of that works. You just gotta go in and hit it. I hope this is at least somewhat helpful. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and comment. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel a lot. And I shall see you all in the next one. Until then, good luck, stay safe, and don't die.